Hey, it's your girl Carla Renata, the curvy film critic, and we're going to talk about some Guardians, a Wonder Woman, and a Spider-Man right after this.
Hey, we got it.
Hey, yes. Oh, we got Disco Light too. What's up? Hey, I turn it down. I don't know the words.
When you get this one, I'm gonna start calling you Auntie Carla.
Flashlight, yes. I'm that girl at the party. Hey, welcome to this edition of Black Tomatoes. We are here to talk about the summer of superheroes, y'all. Summer of superheroes. And we're going to start out talking with the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. Have y'all seen that?
Yes.
I've seen
Okay, so I know what I thought about it, but what did y'all think about it?
I liked it a lot. I don't think it's better than the original, but I do think it's a perfect sequel for a movie.
And what did you think about it?
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
So I didn't see the first one. You saw the first one. Tell us about the first one in comparison to the second one.
Oh man, the first one just kind of comes out of nowhere. Guardians of the Galaxy comes out in between, I believe we're hitting like the third Captain America film at the same time, and it's like very serious kind of superhero movies, which are great. I love them. But Guardians of the Galaxy is a breath of fresh air. It's comedic. It's got two women kind of at the lead fighting over their place and their rank with their father. There's the best music. Like when that soundtrack drops, like the whole world was like, what is even going on?
Now, is this was the first one or the second one?
This is the first one.
Because the second one, girl, we started out with Flashlight by Parliament, and I was like, yes.
I love that you started with the second one because you're the first person I've met that's gone to the second one and been like, it's so good. Because the first one sets the bar so high that I think going into the second one, expectations were very like weird. People weren't quite sure what to expect. And they do a good job of not repeating themselves and carrying the story forward and making, like the female characters, like I say in the first one, they're kind of always at each other's throats trying to figure out their place in the world. Like, am I going to follow dad? Am I going to go do my own thing? Are we at war with each other? Where are we at? In this one, I like that they were able to start developing a relationship with each other. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's not as great as the first one.
Corey?
I'm more of a DC guy. I mean, like Marvel as well. This movie was entertaining, in the very least. But I don't have much to say about it because I wasn't too impressed with it. It was something
what didn't impress you?
The whole thing, really, from start to finish. Even the first one, actually, it was. To me, the jokes were slightly cheap. I'm not.
It's cheesy. No, I think that's
it's a sci-fi movie. That's
right.
why when you have jokes in a sci-fi movie, they kind of have to be cheap because it's about the science fiction of the situation.
You like the
right?
serious, dark Iron Batman.
I love
prefer
Batman.
that. Okay, I respect it.
So once again, I just like I said, it was something to watch. I wasn't upset that I spent $12 or $13 to see it. Not completely upset anyway. Like in the middle of the movie, I was thinking maybe I can get my money back, but it wasn't a terrible film. It was watchable.
I don't follow Star-Lord dances. You get Rocket Raccoon is really dope. He's hilarious.
My favorite is Groot, honey. Groot is my boy.
You like Baby Groot.
I like Baby Groot, not the big one.
You would love Big Groot if you met him because he's just as sweet. But also he's kind of more nurturing. He's very protective, whereas Baby Groot is a little selfish. I still love him.
I kind of love Baby Groot because Baby Groot gets his boogie on, so I'm all down with Baby Groot. Let's talk about the fact that the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, because now it's a franchise, they have two, has introduced two OGs. The first one is Kurt Russell, and they kept that kind of under wraps for the longest time.
Yeah, and he had such a huge role in the film. I was kind of shocked when I saw it for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Kurt Russell, and he's great. This is the perfect kind of. I love seeing him play the double-faced kind of guy.
And the thing that's really intriguing to me about bringing Kurt Russell in is that Kurt Russell is like a Disney OG. Kurt Russell has been working for Disney as an actor since he was a child. So the fact that he started out at Disney as a child actor and now as an adult, he's playing like this father figure in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 gave me life. I loved that so much. What did you think about Kurt Russell? You don't have no opinion about it.
Oh, no.
Okay, so then we'll move on to Sylvester Stallone, who is another OG. We're talking Rocky franchise. We're talking, being known for being that boxer like Yo Rocco. We're talking all that. And now he's up in the Guardians of the Galaxy too with a little cameo. I went to a junket where he was there. Him and Kurt Russell were there. And somebody asked him about how he felt about shooting the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and he was like, it was all good as long as it got him out of his house, because he got a house full of women. He's got all daughters. He's got a wife, and I think he has like 3 or 4 daughters. And I holler, because I'm like, he must never be able to see a bathroom in his house ever in his life for the rest of his life until they get married.
Does not have like 10 bathrooms, maybe, probably?
But I'm just saying, everybody, even if you have a house that big with all those bathrooms, you have a tendency to use that one bathroom. Everybody has a tendency to gravitate toward that one bathroom.
That one bathroom with a real good light in it. I feel you. I feel you.
Right? And then, of course, in addition to the OGs of Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone, we got Zoe Saldana up in there. Now, Zoe Saldana was in the first one, but I like to call her the queen of sci-fi because she has been in Avatar.
Yes.
She's been in Star Trek.
Yeah.
And she's also been in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. I remember asking her at the junket if she had an opportunity to do another film that wasn't sci-fi, what would she do? And how she felt about being like the queen of the sci-fi movies. Because generally, Latinas are not associated with science fiction movies, right? They are not. Black people aren't usually affiliated with science fiction movies unless we the first ones killed. So there's that. But I love the fact that this is a Latina woman who is starring in a film franchise that's huge, and it gives her a completely different fan base. What y'all think about that?
I feel like that's kind of where Zoe's been centered at since maybe she left Crossroads. She's just been doing action films and then sci-fi films and superhero movies. I feel like that's just kind of the market that she's cornered for herself, and I kind of am just excited for her to be there. I have other issues with Zoe Saldana, but here in this space, I think she represents well.
Hey, Corey?
I have my reservations.
About Zoe Saldana?
I don't want to put a damper on the show, so we'll just continue. But there are some things that I'm not too happy about in regard to her career, her choices.
But how do you feel about her just in this aspect, in a science fiction space?
Okay.
All right, go in. You usually do. You being very coy today, so I'm going to need you to step up to the plate.
No problem. Well, you mentioned 3 movies.
Yes.
Right? Star Trek. Love interest was a white guy, I believe, right?
Well, Captain Kirk is white, so yes, there's that.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Same thing, I believe, right?
Star-Lord is white.
But Zoe doesn't have a choice of who she's cast
opposite
opposite
there was a third.
against.
You mentioned a third movie. What was that?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it was 3.
Avatar.
Love interest was what?
Is that your problem with Zoe Saldana?
So
that she's a white guy?
it seems interesting that when she began her career in Drumline, somehow she embraced her African American, if there is even heritage there. No, it's African heritage.
But she's not African American. She's
there.
Latina.
Well, what I'm saying is we all come from the same motherland. I'm saying that because obviously when we were enslaved, we were shipped.
Okay, we're not gonna have that conversation today.
So my thing is, all I'm saying to you is that initially, during her Drumline days, she embraced that part of her culture, at least, and then as her career progressed and as she began to elevate, that's when she became a Latina, quote unquote, right?
Okay,
that's
so
fine.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second just because I have a point about everything that you just said. So to be fair to her, she doesn't necessarily choose the films that she wants to do. She has an agent and a manager that come to her and say, there's this project, look at this script, see how you feel about it, do you want to do it? She either says yes or she says no. When it comes to Drumline and what was the movie she did with Bernie Mac, Guess Who?
Guess Who, and he was white as well in Guess Who. But my whole thing is, once again, in Drumline,
Just go Bernie Mac white?
I'm just saying,
I can't
it's
even
true.
know
He said her love interest was
Love
white.
interest was white.
Okay,
I'm just saying, it
totally
just
fair.
seems like she's on a roll here. You know what I'm saying? My only thing is, once again, in order for her to break in, she partnered with Nick Cannon and did that movie, right? It seems like initially she was all good with being involved in urban films.
There's multiple levels to that. The first level being, usually if you are a person of color, it's easier to get cast in a person of color's film when you start out. That is initially. That's how you get into the industry.
Absolutely.
That's how you start. So I don't think that she is done any disservice to herself or to people who look like her by saying, okay, this is where I got my start and I did well here, but now I get to lead these huge action films. I also don't think that it's fair to be like, oh, well, you don't have a black, like, this is a major Marvel picture, or I forgot who produced Avatar, but the point being, like, she got her foot in there. Like, that's kind of something to be commended.
She got her foot in there. It seems like on the back of Nick Cannon, who is black.
No, come on. Nick Cannon cast her in a movie. She, after that movie is done, after her contract is out, she doesn't owe anything. She doesn't owe anything to anybody.
As somebody who doubles as an actress and a film critic, I'm telling you right now that 3/4 of the time, you as an actress have no choice and no say-so about what projects you get cast in. It's not like she went up to Nick Cannon and say, yo, I want to do this movie with you because I'm black, or that she went to James Cameron and said, you know what, I really want to be painted blue for this picture, or if she went to Marvel and said, I'm going to be green and play Gamora. She has no choice in that matter. They came to her and said, are you interested? In that moment, she had the choice to say yes or no.
And I understand that, again, we're talking about career advancement. These are, like you said, these are major motion pictures, major films, and I get it, right?
Okay.
My point is that there are plenty of African-American directors and producers that she could have hooked up with.
But they may
years.
not have come to her with a project, is my point.
Or perhaps they may have or they may not have. Maybe these projects weren't good enough for her. Maybe they didn't pay enough for her.
And again,
I just find it interesting that every movie she's in, she seems to be romantically involved or attached to a white guy. It's very interesting.
And again, like I said, people have to come to you with the projects. They may not have come to her management team or her agenting team and said that we want Zoe Saldana in this project. Sometimes people come to your representation about projects and you don't even know about it because your representation will turn it down for you and you don't even know anything about it. So to sit here and say that this woman is only attaching herself to projects where her romantic lead is white is unfair, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
And that's what we're all sharing our opinion here, obviously. But once again, I'm sorry, she was also in Colombiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who was the love interest in Colombiana?
Didn't she have 2 separate love interests in Colombiana?
But I remember one in particular, though.
I can't recall who, but I feel like I remember her having two different races. But even if she didn't, I don't think that that's a point in somebody's career that I don't really care who a person is romantically involved with on screen or even in their personal life.
Guess who? I think it was Ashton Kutcher. I'm just saying the pattern is striking.
Okay, here's the thing: is that's something that bothers you personally, and that's maybe fair. But the idea that like we should judge her career, well,
clearly it does because you bringing it up.
That's okay.
What I'm saying is, I'm just making an observation. Not bothered by any man that she's involved with. I definitely don't have to be. What I'm saying is, it's just very interesting that every movie I've seen her in, apart from Drumline, her romantic interest is white.
Okay, but this is the thing. For the purposes of this discussion, we're talking about Zoe Saldana being involved in sci-fi movies. We're not doing analyze anatomy of a movie of Zoe Saldana. We're talking about Zoe Saldana being involved in Avatar, Star Trek, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and how groundbreaking that is for a Latina to be in those films. Not the fact that her love interest is white in those films or any other film.
The lead in every single one of these movies are white, and each of these white men are saving the world in some way. She's helping them do it.
Okay, but she didn't write the script, Corey.
She's just an actress in the movie. I just think it's interesting. So it's like it's like the white savior narrative.
Even if she did, you have to understand that like she's the first one in the door. Like she's the one making the headway. She is the one taking the step into it.
She's choosing to. There are other actresses who I'm sure have been offered these roles, but she said to herself, you know what? I want
no one is turning. Look, Marvel and that kind of money.
Let me tell you something.
A chance for James Cameron is one of the most prolific directors of all time.
Right.
No.
Let me tell you something. If Marvel or James Cameron or Disney or whoever the hell came to me and said, "Do you want to be an action figure?" I would jump at it. Why? Because I am a curvy black girl in Hollywood, and that is not embraced. Right. She is a Latina in Hollywood, and more. Listen, you can count the successful Latina women in film on one hand: Rita Moreno, Jennifer Lopez, Zoe Saldana. Like, you can count them on one hand. So for that, let's give her her props and her kudos for that, and segue to the next subject, which is the big success of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is kicking major butt right now. And I want y'all to listen. So I grew up with Wonder Woman when it was a TV show, because I'm a little older than y'all, and I always say that. But Wonder Woman was
Carter is amazing.
Yes, Linda Carter was Wonder Woman on TV, and I just want y'all to see and hear this theme song because it's
amazing,
hilarious.
Look at these stars. Look, yes.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman.
All the world is waiting for
Start with
you.
this terrible comic print. It's just wonderful.
And the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights. And the old red, white, and blue.
Oh my god, Invisible Plane, yes!
Wonder Woman.
Don't they switch this to a live action opening later?
Here it comes.
Okay.
This comes in a few seconds. And the close-up is on Wonder Woman.
Also, if these aren't all gifts already, I need someone to get on that because fabulousness.
Linda Carter, yay! And Lyle Wagner from the Carol Burnett Show.
Yeah.
I love the fact
Oh,
that
God.
I just love that. So I love the fact that when they show Lyle Wagner, they had the little star in his teeth, like ding, ding, ding. That
Yeah.
makes me laugh so hard.
He's so fresh.
But Wonder Woman is kicking major bootay at the box
Patty
office.
Jenkins is now the highest grossing
Patty
director.
she's the highest grossing director that's a female, which I kind of am upset at the fact that they're making such a big deal out of the fact that she's a female. Like, when are we going to get away from somebody just doing their job
When
and
it
a
becomes
gender
the
or
norm.
color not being attached to what that is?
We shouldn't.
When it
We
be-
shouldn't, exactly.
No. I mean, I'm sorry. I misspoke. We should. I mean, didn't you all have, not you all, but there was an all-female screening of the movie, I believe. So, I mean, that's kind of attached to gender, is it not? And there are plenty of things that we can go over now that, are separated by gender. So I think in this case, yes, she is a highly successful female director, and it should be pointed out because of how many years, decades even, that female directors were not acknowledged at all. So the fact that she
Exactly.
is female, I think, is very important. You should include that.
Yeah,
You should acknowledge that.
I'm not saying that it shouldn't be acknowledged. I'm just saying that I'm hoping that at some point in the industry, when someone is speaking about a director or an actor or a producer, the moniker female or black or Asian or Latina is not in front of their name. But I want to, now that we've taken a look at the TV series Wonder Woman, I just want to take a look at a clip from the movie.
Harder.
This was one of my favorites.
You're stronger than this, darling.
Yes. My princess is a general.
Again.
Look at her.
And Robin from House of Cards.
That's who I'm talking about. Robin Wright Penn going from The Princess Bride to this is my favorite, like, headcanon of an arc. So good.
Yes, knock her down.
Never let your guard down. You expect a battle to be fair. A battle will never be fair.
God powers, what?
And it wasn't fair because then she just knocked her down the way she knocked her down.
Sure did. She said, and what?
I kind of love her for that. I found out just this week, it was released that they're doing a sequel. That's no big surprise. And that Patty Jenkins is negotiating her salary for the sequel. I hope
Because
they
they
pay a
did
sister.
not lock her into a contract, which is hilarious.
Because they did not think that the movie, they thought, first of all, they thought Wonder Woman, because y'all saw the clip from the TV show. So a lot of people still have that image of Wonder Woman in their head. So they thought, oh, this film is going to come out, it's going to be cheesy, it's not going to be as good as, the Avengers or some of these other male, huge sci-fi movies. And so they didn't negotiate her contract. And now that they haven't, they're probably kicking themselves all the way to the
Patty
bank.
Jenkins can come back with any number she wants and says, you must hire me.
Love her
I mean,
for
it
that.
wasn't as good. It was entertaining.
It's
It
the
was
best
a solid
movie
job.
DC has released in like maybe
That's
4
because
years.
you're not referring to any of Batman films, obviously. But yes, if we talk
Not
about
Nolan's Batman's,
not
no,
Nolan's,
but
right. So if you talk about Superman, it's not much to compare it to. The other films were awful. So
Yes.
of course this would be better than the other
well,
films.
here's why I point that out. It's because a lot of the people who had hands in making those films still had their hands in this film. You know what I mean? So that leftover, like the things we are not enjoying about DC movies, the people in charge of that are still involved in the making of it and the crafting of it. And yet Patty Jenkins was able to elevate a script by the exact same people who did Superman versus Batman and do something really powerful with it and really meaningful. It's not a great film. It's not a flawless film. I'll put it that way. It's not a flawless film. But what I was able to
enjoyed
do,
it.
that's what I'm saying. It's fun. It was a good summer blockbuster movie. There were moments where I went like No Man's Land, which I know everyone talks about to death, but like, oh, it's so good. And I didn't like the boss, but like these are things where I'm like, oh, I finally see like what the DC universe could be. And I'm like you. I was a DC fan from birth. Like, Batman has been my go-to hero. Batman the Animated Series was my favorite TV show coming up. So it's frustrating to see DC not do as well as Marvel, to know that they have the characters and the backstock and the stories to tell great stories, but aren't doing it. And Patty Jenkins gave me hope.
I can tell Corey got something to say.
Well, no, I did notice something. There were black Amazons, which I really appreciate.
I loved that.
I really appreciate that. In fact, I did some research, and she does have a sister, right?
Nubia.
Who's even stronger Nubia than she is,
Yes.
I believe, right?
Yes.
The issue I have is that the Amazons that I saw, particularly one at the beginning of the film, why is it that Wonder Woman can still be strong and powerful, but also elegant and graceful and conventionally beautiful, but the black Amazons in the films, to me, many of them look extremely masculine and manly? I don't understand why that is.
Because people associate the word Amazon with that.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. So they found a blend with the lead actress of strength and elegance,
She
femininity,
starred a
whatever.
movie, though. They gonna have to do that.
But I understand, but I don't like the fact that
multiple
black...
things to your point. I agree with you,
Yeah.
first of all. But for multiple, okay, one, I think we need to have masculine women because they exist and they're freaking dope, and so I like that they have projected that image. However, the senator we saw toward the one who objected to Wonder Woman's opinion, she was very feminine. She had long, flowing curly hair. She was gentle, but also on top of that, story point wise, all of the women we see on the island tend to be more masculine than Wonder Woman because they are actual Amazons, whereas Wonder Woman is not. So I think that's part of their
The other
casting.
women I saw, though, they weren't as masculine. They did have sharper, strong features, right? But I saw one in particular. She was standing, I think, on an elevated surface, and the other Amazons were attacking her with weapons, and the weapons were bouncing off of her.
The
and she
main
was
general chick?
grunting.
Yeah, because she's a
And I'm
boxer and
like,
she's
dude,
dope as hell.
So that's my whole thing. It's like, let's not perpetuate this. I really think that, and you talk about the black director, the writers, the producers, whomever, I don't think they wanted Wonder Woman to be overshadowed by an equally attractive, beautiful, black Amazon woman.
But again, if we're looking at movies,
you...
we never cast a more beautiful woman than your lead unless your lead is not like the main part of her
Exactly.
story
Well, at
is
least
that she's not
cast
as
someone.
beautiful.
At least
I think that those women, but to your point, I think that all of those black women that I saw in the film as Amazons, I think they were all really beautiful.
Well, absolutely were beautiful. My thing is, I don't want to send a message, or I don't want the world to receive a message that, okay, well, we have the lead actress, the beautiful heroine of the film, who is not only strong, but also very elegant and graceful. But the only way a black woman could be strong is if she looks like Serena Williams or something like that, extremely masculine and muscular.
I don't
like
think
that doesn't make come on. What is that?
I don't think that was the point.
It seemed like that to me because apart from the
Because
senator,
that whole section was it happened so fast.
Okay, but you know the Amazons are all played by actual athletes, right?
well, yeah,
Right.
I understand that. And
So what I'm saying is these are actual women with the physical bodies of like sportsmen,
Olympic
warriors. They're
warriors,
like,
yeah.
like so the idea that
So how can we explain Wonder Woman? So technically, she's not an Amazon. She was coming into her own in the film, right?
no, she's not an Amazon because she's not. The Amazons were created by the gods. They're
Right.
they're crafted beings.
She thinks she's an Amazon,
she's an
but she
Amazon.
finds out
She
she's
is
not.
she's
Right.
born of an Amazon and a god.
Right.
So she's not and gods don't have to embody their powers in their physicality. That's built into her storyline. Now, would I have minded seeing a more masculine Wonder Woman? I don't think say masculine. A more muscular Wonder Woman. I would have
Someone
been
who
okay with
actually
that.
looks like she can do some of the things
Yes,
she
that
did
would
in
have
the
been
film.
okay with me. But I also think Gal Gadot fought in the Israeli army for 2 years. Like she's an actual warrior. So I thought she did the character justice. I thought that kind of naivete mixed with a true like heart of I want to do good in the world. It's the first time that kind of mixture of superhero, that thing that Clark Kent is supposed to be, really hit for me in a film. You know, Clark Kent is supposed to be a Boy Scout, essentially. He's a really good guy who just wants to do the best for everybody and believes in the ability to change. We never get that in any of our other DC stories, but we get it here with Gal. And for that, I really appreciate her. I was anti-Gal at first, I'll be honest.
Well, of course,
I was real
because her
vocal
arms
about
are
it.
about like this size.
She's a very
Stop
petite
playing with the mic.
person.
They are. This is her. Literally, her. How do you expect
But
for
she's
her
an
to be
actual fighter,
throwing
and
them
I
around
think that
with
it's
her
important
arms?
for women who are just born smaller.
First
who
of
just,
all, there are gymnasts that look like that are not. There are Olympic gymnasts that are not all muscly and bulging and tiny little girls that are fierce at their sport.
I've
so you
never
don't have
seen
to,
a gymnast that did not have extremely toned arms at least.
I've seen them, and they are not all like, they're not all bulked looking
Yeah,
like
I don't
the
want her to
Hulk.
be bulky. I'm saying look the part. Like, look, I'm watching her and I'm
It's
thinking,
Hollywood.
this
It's a
woman,
movie.
I get,
They're gonna pick on
but
all
I
these
have-
women
I have
for
the
things
same,
they didn't
I have
cast
the, I have the
themselves
same issue with Halle Berry as Storm. Now you know what Storm looks like in the comic book,
Well,
don't
that's
you?
a colorism issue, which we can certainly get
it's
into.
not even about her color. It's about her frame. She's very petite. Look at Storm in the comic book. Storm is Amazon as well. Skin's darker, right? And she's also extremely defined. You know what I'm saying? You look at Halle Berry, she's very soft. It looks like she couldn't harm a fly
Right,
in the movie.
but this is the thing. Let's just celebrate the fact that here is a film with a female heroine that is directed by a female, that stars a female, that features massive female women in the cast, that is the
and
biggest...
behind the camera, production designer,
Yes,
designer,
you
special
just-
effects
wait.
technician.
Right.
You just said that we shouldn't make it about men and women, and now you're mentioning all the women involved in making the film.
I can't. This is the thing. The reason I'm bringing it up is because it's the first time it's happening. It's the first time that this many women have been associated with a project that has made this kind of money in Hollywood. Is enormous.
So let me ask you, what is that supposed to do for men? Because obviously that empowers
Men
all of
are
you.
always gonna have a job.
No, I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is the message, well, we can do this just as well as you can, or is it, oh, well, we're women and we're going to work together to do our own thing now because men, they've
It's a little
dominated
bit of-
Hollywood
it's a
for
little
so
bit of
long.
both.
But here's the thing, do you think we care?
It doesn't matter whether you care or not. We care. It doesn't matter whether or not
it
Americans
seems like
we
it,
care.
I'm just saying, it seems like you are kind of shoving it down. Like, do your thing. That's fine. Great for you all. You know what I'm saying? But we're not really.
We're,
We're like,
this course
it's true. Like,
listen, sir. Listen.
Just, sir.
It's true.
Women
You know
do not
what she
hold
called
the
you,
keys
sir. She
to
about to let
shit.
you
Yeah,
have it.
exactly.
Women
right?
do not have the keys to shit. We cannot just make things like Patty Jenkins had originally been scheduled to direct Thor. That was her movie.
Right.
It got ganked from her. Then she had to fight for years after directing her first time out of the gate an Oscar award-winning movie. Had to fight for years just to be given a key, just to be like, hey, you know what I would really, really, really like to do is direct Wonder Woman. I know Wonder Woman. I'm a fan of Wonder Woman. I've read the comics since I was young. She had to fight for it because guess what? There was nobody at the top saying, hey, you know what? Here's a person who could do this movie really well, and who has proven herself time and time again with action films. Patty Jenkins should have been directing this movie like 5 years. This should have been done in the can. We should be like on our 4th Wonder Woman movie. So to say like our women are shoving this down, no, we are celebrating. This is a moment where it's just like, hey, we got at least one. It's the same reason Ava DuVernay is sitting on her throne being like, you know what? I'm only going to have female directors in here. It's the reason why Patty Jenkins was able to put so many women in places of
I
power
agree with
behind
Don
the camera.
Cheadle when Don Cheadle said, because someone responded to him on Twitter or to what's going on and said, oh, well, you know, women, if there were all male screen of a movie, people would go crazy. And Don Cheadle, I think, said that's Hollywood. It's male dominated. And he made a great point.
And he's
I get
right.
that.
It is male dominated.
But the thing, what I'm saying is, when you make such a fuss about it and celebrate about it, to us, well, I'm not going to speak for men, but to me personally, it seems like it's not a sign of weakness. It seems like a sign of desperation.
Look, this is the thing. This is why it's a big deal. There have been again, just like there have been a handful of Latinas, right. There have been a handful of female directors, and the very first one that got any kind of attention whatsoever was Barbra Streisand, and they dissed her within an inch of her life.
And Yentl is great.
Yes, and Yentl is a wonderful film. The cinematography, everything about that film is the bomb. Then here comes Catherine
Hardwick.
No. Hurt Locker, Catherine.
Dang it. I was going to say Jean Campion. Hold on, I'm going to find it.
Anyway, Catherine
Bigelow.
Thank you. Catherine Bigelow with Hurt Locker. She got all this attention because the Hurt Locker was what it was. Like a woman can't direct a film about men in the war and action. That was hilarious to me. Then that went away. Then here comes Ava DuVernay with films about the civil rights and films like I Will Follow and so many different films that she's doing, and they're like, this was good, but yeah, no. Then here comes Patty Jenkins, and now now finally somebody's like, okay, you know what? For whatever reason, she's the one. She's the one that they're gonna go and support for whatever reason.
It's because this film was good and the other one sucked primarily.
Selma did not suck.
No, I'm talking about the
He's
other
talking about
DC
the sci-fi
movies.
movies.
the
Oh,
other
okay.
DC
Because I was
movies.
like,
No,
I'm gonna have to duke you out over
absolutely
Miss Ava DuVernay now.
No. I'm talking about the Wonder Woman movie was good. The other movie sucked. So it's almost like, you have a garage full of like Buicks or something, and then finally Camaro rolls in. It's like, wow, that one's really good
you're
compared to the
hilarious.
other cars.
So that's everybody. We've all made good points, and we've had a very invigorating, spirited discussion about that. But you mentioned something about one of you guys mentioned something about Batman and what is Batman's
Batman v Superman?
No. What's his name in the original film?
Christian Bale.
No, his alter ego.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. So somebody mentioned about Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent and all that, and now that brings us into the next superhero, which is Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He pretends to be, a student during the day, and then he puts on his little spider suit and becomes a superhero. But the thing that is really not surprising, but the thing that is heartwarming to me is that this Spider-Man stars my little nugget Zendaya, and let's just take a look at the clip. I love this.
Classic.
Now, I didn't know that they actually, I have to say that I thought that the theme songs for film, especially with that many strings, it was done via computer, because they do everything with theme songs via computer nowadays. So I just assumed that one was too, but it wasn't. So I love showing that clip just to like throw that out there. But the reason I'm proud of Zendaya is because Zendaya and I were on a little show on the Disney Channel called Shake It Up, and she played Rocky Blue, and I played Marcy Blue, and I was her mom. And I think we have a picture of me and Zendaya on the set of Shake It Up
Let me see
at some point. But I'm really, really proud of her because she has become this major, there it is. She's become this major movie star. That's me, Zendaya, and Roshan. They played my son and daughter on Shake It Up. And that's Olivia Holt. She was guest starring in that episode. But I'm really, really proud of her because she has grown up to be an exceptional young lady. And then there was this that happened. She was at the Oscars on the red carpet. Juliana Rancic made a comment about her dreadlocks, and I just wanted to show what she looked like on the Oscar red carpet that day.
I don't know, I just like switching it up, you know what I mean? I've always loved locks, my dad has them, so I don't know, it's something I've always wanted to try, so.
You look beautiful, and you're definitely going to stand out from the crowd.
I try.
She does more than try. She does really, really well. That's my baby. That is my baby, Zendaya. So, having said that, Zendaya is playing the love interest of Peter Parker, which is a first. Because all of the Peter Parkers and Mary Janes have all been white people.
Yes.
So I love the fact that even though Zendaya's, a light-skinned sister, she's still playing a really iconic comic book role. And I think the first person that played it was Kirsten Dunst. She was in the first 2 or 3.
Right.
I love Kirsten Dunst. What'd you say?
She was terrible. But go ahead.
Wow.
Okay, why was she terrible, Corey?
I'm
Corey
sorry.
don't like no women.
No,
this
it's
is
not
what I'm
true.
like.
That's not. First of all,
I'm
that's not
like,
true.
all
I'm a
women
huge.
are
Basher,
I'm a
dude.
huge. No. I'm a huge fan of Angela Bassett. I'm a huge fan of Angelina Jolie.
Angela Bassett and Angelina Jolie can't be Mary Jane and Spider-Man?
No, she said I hate women is what
Oh.
she said. That's what I was
like,
referring
woo,
to.
where are we going?
So no, there are plenty that I enjoy, but this is a cute attempt at diversity. I got it. It's just great.
But
I mean, she's definitely close enough. It's not like
diversity, but she's not playing Mary Jane. She's playing Michelle.
Right, I
so
understand.
it's
She
not
She
I love
initially was
Brandon.
supposed to be playing Mary Jane, so
Right.
they
Yeah,
just
which I
switched
think
it.
they made the smart choice in changing it up because
I think
first of
people
all, because you're
complained
going to
about
definitely
it.
rile up your
Yeah.
base of being like, oh, no, Black Mary Jane. It doesn't matter what color skin Mary Jane is. It's not integral to her background.
Well, it kind of does though, because we wouldn't want to see a white Shaft. I don't think you.
But
would.
Shaft's
You know?
skin
That's a
color is
completely
integral to his character.
Not necessarily, it's not.
Dude.
You wouldn't want to see. We have plenty of
But
black
Shaft is a
fictional
black
characters.
Okay, let's
that
stay.
doesn't make any sense.
Let's stay on
That
the
doesn't make
subject.
sense, Corey.
I
Let's
wish
stay on the
people would.
subject.
No. I'm just saying that the point is, you can also say the same thing about Thor, because from what I understand, I've seen the last 2 movies. Idris Elba is in Thor. He plays. What you would know the name. I don't know.
He
the
plays
name
a
offhand.
god. I can't
He
remember
plays a
which
god.
one.
Okay, so how many black Vikings are you aware of?
There are not many that I am aware of.
Okay,
as
then.
I'm just
So,
not
I
very
mean,
familiar
if
with Viking
Idris
gods.
Elba can play a black Viking, then why couldn't we see a white Shaft? The same thing. So, what
No,
I'm saying
because the Vikings
so-
are not here.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Not integral to what they are. Shaft is literally policing the streets of the ghetto. No, I have to just
a
address
white
this point
person
because
can
it
do
doesn't make
that.
sense.
A white person can't police the streets together. Why?
Okay. We're not talking about Shaft.
My
Let's
apologies.
bring it back.
Okay,
bring
all
it
I'm
back.
saying is a cute
We're talking about
attempt.
Spider-Man.
It's a cute attempt at diversity, and the thing is, she's fair enough. You know what I'm saying? That's why they chose her. I don't think they would go any darker than that, because then people would be, riding the streets. I assume comic book fans, at least white people. So I applaud their attempt. They threw us another bone. We'll take it. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep moving on.
I don't
All
think
right,
this is the
so
bones.
let's-
Zendaya isn't a proven actress. She's amazing. She's got a huge base with kids that are going to be coming to this movie. This
She's
movie
a
is
role.
geared toward high schoolers.
Yes, she's a role model for young girls. So for a young girl that is growing up, aspiring to be an actress, aspiring to be in a major motion picture like a Spider-Man or a TV series like Shake It Up, putting Zendaya in that position is giving little girls hope that if she can do it, they can do it too.
You mean
That's
little
the
black
point.
girls or just little girls?
Little girls, period.
But there are plenty of little girls, not little girls, but Spider-Man. If you talk about Kristen Dunst and the other women who've played love interests in superhero movies, plenty of girls do that.
But Joel spoke to Zendaya's fan base.
Yeah.
Zendaya's fan base is multicultural. I
Right.
don't think Kirsten Dunst. I
Right, so
love
that's
her,
what you mean.
but
You
her
mean-
fan base is not multicultural.
Right, see,
but
little
Zendaya,
girls of color.
No. Multicultural, not
Right.
little girls of, not just little girls of color.
Right.
I mean, black, white, Latina, Asian, whatever type of little girl you are. Somebody, because those people saw Zendaya on Shake It Up, and now she's in a Spider-Man movie. Multicultural girls around the globe, not just in the United States, are gonna look at her playing that role and go, if she can do this, I can do this too. So that's my point in bringing her
I don't really
up.
think they do that, because
Yes, they do. You
ever been a
I
little
don't think
girl?
they do that. I don't think they, because
Okay, first of all, you can't speak to that because you've never been a little girl, but I
no,
have.
I'm not talking little girls. I'm not talking
have.
little girls. What I'm talking about, what I'm saying to you is, if you look, Latinos, they produce their own films. Asians, they produce their own films.
But
So if
that's
you wanna
not
break it
that's
down-
not what we're talking
All
about.
I'm saying is, so we get all excited and
And we
and
should.
full of jubilee and glee,
And we
right?
should.
When we are cast in these major motion pictures,
And we should.
we should
In the
because
same way that we saw the
we
Asian
should.
population
Why?
get super excited because they had a general in Star Trek.
That's what
Diversity
I'm saying.
matters to people. It gets people
Diversity matters
excited.
if it's recognized and acknowledged by the white powers that be in Hollywood.
That's
then it
not
matters.
true.
Okay, we're talking about the evolution of the Peter Parkers and the Mary Janes. We're not talking about.
I'm just saying that's why it's important, because the Spider-Man, who was a
You
white
think
guy.
that we're celebrating because, oh my gosh, white
Absolutely.
people have acknowledged
Yeah,
us. That's
absolutely.
not
That's
why
exactly
we're
what it is.
celebrating.
This is
What I'm
major
celebrating
motion-
is,
yeah.
okay, if you've been a fan of comic books your whole life, you must understand that when you open up a comic book and you see a new character who somewhat looks like you, it's like, my God, I exist in Spider-Man's world. That's
Yeah, because they
freaking
were
exciting.
white before primarily, and now that there's been a browning of these
This is the
characters,
thing-
there's more diversity now than we've ever seen within the Marvel world.
In
the
the-
reason why we're happy about it is because, like, oh wow, they're finally including us. They're
But listen,
incorporating us
Corey,
into
that we're
their
including
world.
us, that we get to
Thank
see
you.
ourselves.
Listen,
There's a
We can see
distinct
ourselves and we can
difference.
create our own worlds,
But
can't
Well,
we?
you don't have
Listen
$1
to
billion
me.
to make a film
Oh,
like
man,
this.
no, there
Okay,
are plenty of
listen,
people-
listen to me.
No.
Listen to me. We're getting way off in another direction. This conversation right here is not about whether or not black people are included in the comic book universe. This conversation should be about the evolution of the Peter Parkers and the Mary Janes in the film, of which Zendaya is one of those cast members. That's what we're talking about. So, having said that, we're going to move on over to the Spider-Mans, and we're going to talk about Tobey Maguire for a minute. Tobey Maguire, I kind of loved him as Spider-Man
He's
because
so
he was
old.
he wasn't old when he did it.
He's old when he did it. For Parker's got to be
Spider-Man
like between
ain't gotta-
16 and 23.
Nobody
But he
wants
look
to
at
see
him. He looks like he could be like 20 in that picture.
32 in this photo.
Girl,
Nobody
stop.
wants to see a teenage Spider-Man. I think it would appeal
I
maybe
wanna
to
see a
kids.
teenage
Why,
Spider-Man.
why though? Why? Here's the whole thing. Why would I guess if you're a comic book head, you might want to see that. But why would any grown man want to watch some teenager in spandex? Fly all over the place and then
Because
I'm
in
just-
Spider-Man,
reminds
dude,
them of
I mean,
their
he's
childhood.
swinging from building to building, and he's
I
interacting
feel
with
like
other
adults
teenagers in
can
high school.
frequently
I'm
enjoy-
a grown man. I want to
Look.
see another grown man fighting crowd,
It's
kicking
about
butt,
the
not some
fantasy.
kid.
That's so minorative.
It's-
I feel like the superhero universe is so large.
it's about the fantasy. It's
Well,
all
not
about
even
the
about
fantasy.
that, but the
Dude.
superhero
Alright.
universe is so large that there are so
And
many
it's
types of
vast.
stories we can
Exactly.
tell. In comic books, we're telling family stories. We're telling not just big action, end of the world movies, which is what I think could potentially kill the genre. I'm
Exactly.
excited that they want to tell what I hope will be a smaller scale story of a high schooler just trying to get through his high school day who happens to have superpowers. I think that enriches and enlarges the genre and allows it to thrive because it brings more people in. If all we're ever doing is like, the world's going to blow up, that suspense can't sustain itself for forever.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like an apocalyptic film. I think that's what you're referring to. I'm saying that I don't want to sit and watch a high schooler and other high schoolers do what high schoolers do past that point. I was in high school 10 years ago. I don't really care to see it. I like the adult Spider-Man because then you can start incorporating adult elements in the film that I actually can identify with. I'm not trying to look for no high
But
school
this is the
crap.
thing. As a studio executive, you have to produce a film, especially a film like Spider-Man, a film that is going to appeal to all ages as a summer blockbuster hit. If they make a film about an adult Spider-Man that's only going to appeal to adults, they're not going to make a whole lot of money.
Right.
And the bottom line for a studio is
Is
to
the
make
bottom
money.
line. But
The
right.
bottom line is to make money.
Right.
Let's take a look at this clip of my little nugget in Spider-Man.
yes.
What are you hiding, Peter? I'm just kidding. I don't care. Bye.
She's the best. Oh my
I
God.
love that. I just did a little abridged version of the clip because I just wanted to see the purpose and day in it.
Yeah. You
Very
got
selfish
kids-
of me. I'm sorry.
Kids
Very
in the
selfish.
theater making noise, you know what I'm saying? It's
But
like,
that's
come
what
on,
it is.
man.
It's the whole summer experience. Speaking of which, we have a movie that's coming out that a lot of people are excited about. I'm excited about it mostly because this young man is a graduate of Howard University, my alma mater. So
Yes.
up to the Bisons. But let's take a look at this trailer from
Again,
his
yes,
new
please.
film.
Time 1763.
Tell me something. What do you know about Wakanda?
You don't know anything about it. You know nothing.
It's a third world country. Textiles, shepherds, cool outfits, all a front. Explorers have searched for it. Called it El Dorado. They looked for it in South America. But it was in Africa the whole time. I'm the only one who's seen it and made it out alive.
Ooh, so maniacal.
I can see you.
How's Danny?
So good.
She make a Howard too.
The world is changing. Soon,
Look at
there
these
will only
masks.
be the
Right?
conquered and the conquerors.
Step into the spotlight.
You are a good man.
Step into the spotlight.
It's a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be a king.
Yes. It
I
literally
mean,
can't come
can we
soon
see
enough.
him in his uniform, in his
No,
outfit?
No, that's
You
in
don't
the,
wanna
that's what the
ruin
poster's
it.
for.
I mean,
This is a
come
teaser.
on.
That's what the poster's
You know
for.
what I'm saying? The poster was.
It's a trailer.
The poster was
The
very
poster's him.
militant. They call it militant. You know, you can
Well,
compare
you know,
that Huey
people
Newton
don't let
poster.
the reason people saying that's because it's a black man. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the evolution of a black superhero. This is like one of the first big films that's featuring a black superhero, y'all. Let's celebrate
I'm excited about
Yes.
it. I haven't seen his assistant. He has an assistant, as you know. She was in what was the last film? Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends, males, who are looking forward to seeing her again. You know, what I'm saying? Her physique is off the chain.
It's very exciting. Y'all all about the physique.
One of the best physiques I've seen in
Look,
quite
and
some
there's that
time.
poster of him. He looks fantabulous. And I love this poster.
I
It makes him look
it.
very powerful. It's very artistic. I love it. But let's talk about the fact that, aside from the fact that he's my, Bison buddy from Howard University, Chadwick Boseman, I'm so glad has broken away from the cycle of being that one black man that's playing every historical black person on film.
I had such mixed feelings about this because the internet erupted him over it a couple of days ago, and they were like, "Why is he playing all the things?" And I'm like, "Well, he's super talented."
Okay, let's look at let's play this clip of him from that's him as Jackie Robinson in 42. But and he did an excellent job in that. But I really want to take a look at this clip of him from 42 in the locker room.
Aren't you, son? Follow me.
Check out everybody in the locker room.
I'm Romansky. Welcome to Brooklyn.
Greetings.
Hey, man. Ralph Branca.
Greetings. Greetings.
I just found out today. Best I can do. I'll get you straightened out tomorrow.
Now
okay?
he said, "Let me show you to your locker."
It's okay.
His locker is a hanger.
For today, I feel like this scene alone is probably what got him cast as Black Panther. The walk through that room was so regal.
He's an excellent actor. Just excellent.
Squared off shoulders, just
I gotta tell you.
sizing everybody up. It's amazing.
Oof, when I saw that movie, I felt some kind of way when I saw it. And then he jumped from playing Jackie Robinson to playing the iconic Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Here we go.
Killed it again. Look at these moves.
You blew the roof off the place. Only you make a record for King.
We breaking new ground every day. James, there's a woman here. She said she your mama.
My baby playing at the Apollo.
I ain't your baby. Not then, not now.
I feel good.
I look after James Brown.
Your mama's a no account fool. But you ain't gonna be. You gonna be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Brown, hit it!
Look me in the eye. You believe in what we're doing here?
Man's a genius, and he's taking us with him.
Are we done, Mr. Bird?
He got more funk in the trunk.
Yes. See, now those are two completely different iconic characters. He's playing a baseball player, and then James Brown, he had to learn how to do those moves because when you think about the Godfather Soul, James Brown, you think about those dance moves and him screaming. You can't fake that. He had to learn how to do that and learned how to do it very, very well, I might add. The next iconic character he's gonna play, though, I got issues with, and we'll talk about it, is Thurgood Marshall.
Dive in.
I'm just like, Thurgood Marshall is iconic for a lot of different reasons, mostly because of his contribution to law in the United States. But yeah, I just feel some kind of way about him playing this, mostly because he's an excellent actor. I love Chadwick, but I'm not quite sure if he's gonna be able to pull this one off. What y'all feel about that?
Is it a colorism issue?
For me, yes. I hate to say that, but it is.
Well, because I think that it buries a lot of what, like, Thurgood Marshall had struggled. He was black. Like, it was difficult. But he was only allowed in certain spaces because of how light-skinned he was. Like, if Thurgood Marshall had been as dark as Chadwick, he probably wouldn't have had the same end results. I wish I could remember. My friend brought up a really good, like, historical moment of Thurgood Marshall where he's being called out in court about something. And the tone, the color of his skin played a huge part in it.
Exactly.
And I think that it's just... Well, I think that performance-wise, he'll be fine. Like, I really think that Chadwick has never stepped up to the plate and not come fully prepared to do the role. But visually, it does send off some bells.
Okay. You got anything to add to that, Corey?
No, I mean, we just discussed, right? People breaking into the industry and being given opportunities. I mean, I don't think people see the big picture here. The reason why people are upset with him doing all of these biopics about great African American men is because he's being confined. He's being put in a box. And so how many fresh, young African American male faces can you name that you see in major motion pictures today? You don't see very many. So with this guy, someone who fits that category, he's being confined, circumscribed to a specific category, and that's biopics, and that's why people have a problem with it. No matter how polar opposite James Brown may be to Jackie Robinson, the point is he is being placed in a box, and apparently just now he's being allowed to spread his wings.
Well, he's being allowed to spread his wings by being a superhero.
A
so
superhero.
That's completely different.
Right, no pun intended.
But I feel like a lot of actors have taken I'll do a bunch of historical fiction films, really big historical fiction, because those are independent movies that can garner audiences. A lot of independent movies are scrambling to try to find, like, who will come watch our stuff, but when you put a historical figure in it, suddenly it becomes relevant and important. How are we displaying this figure? What does this figure mean to history? And I feel like I don't want to confine him because he's a black. I don't want to say that he's been confined because he's a black actor. I feel like he made super strong choices to take leads in certain films so that he could get to where he wanted to be. I don't think that any of the films he was put in hindered his ability to seek other roles.
Exactly. So we could talk about this all day long, but I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to talk about all these superheroes and give our opinions about them and how we feel about them, and hopefully people will run out and go see these movies as a result of our conversation. So having said that, we're going to wrap this session up of Black Tomatoes. I am Carla Renata, the Curvy Critic. You can find me on all social media at The Curvy Critic. Joelle, where can they find you?
And Monique, you can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique, and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
We'll keep it with Twitter at Corey A. Haywood.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's it. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Christie, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.